Hello everyone. Today's article has been taken from the Financial Express, and the title of this article is A SAT Style Test Needed. SAT here means Scholastic Aptitude Assessment Test. Earlier it was called Scholastic Aptitude Test, now it is called Scholastic Assessment Test. It is a common entrance test for colleges and universities in the US, where students are checked for their readiness to enter college education in the US. So this is what has been recommended in this article. Let's read and find out what the editor has to say about it. SAT style test needed. COVID-19 presents an opportunity for UGC to push this. UGC is University Grants Commission. Okay, this was a commission that was brought in 1956 by the modification of earlier commissions on education, and it is a statutory body which has come into force by the passing of an act in the parliament called the UGC Act, expansion of which is the UGC Act and Rules and Regulations under the Act 1956. So it has a 6-point mandate regarding education in India. All those 6 points or the 6 mandates can be found on the website of the UGC in the About Us column, which I'll leave a link for in the description box. So COVID-19 presents an opportunity for UGC to push SAT style test. COVID-19 and the need for distancing pose complex questions for the education sector in the country. Even as schools, colleges and universities mull over truncated syllabi for the current academic year, with the admission season now here, universities have a much more difficult task at hand. ठीक है, लिखा हुआ है as schools, colleges and universities mull over truncated syllabi. Mull can be equated with pondering or contemplating or giving considerable amount of thought over something. किसी चीज़ के बारे में गहन तरीके से सोचना, that is called to mull. Truncated can be equated or is similar to trimming of something. कोई चीज़ बहुत लंबी है, उसको काट के थोड़ा छोटा कर रहे हैं, it is called truncated. It is called to truncate, hence the word truncated. Syllabi is plural for syllabus. So even as schools, colleges and universities mull over truncated syllabi for the current academic year, with the admission season now here, universities have a much more difficult task at hand. Infection is on the rise, so the government will likely not allow the exams of the various boards, including states that had been suspended to avoid congregation of lakhs of students at exam venues, to get conducted in the usual manner. Okay? Since the infection is increasing day by day, government cannot actually allow boards, state boards or central boards to take physical examinations, exams in the physical form or with the presence of students or congregation of lakhs of students at exam centers and venues. Congregation is the coming together or grouping of many people for any particular task. Okay? So this is the problem that the country faces in the sphere of education in the wake of the COVID-19 outbreak pandemic. While the boards can perhaps allow schools that offer senior secondary education to promote class 10 students on the basis of internal assessments, schools and universities will have to imagine a way for class 12 students to get into undergraduate courses. क्लास 10 के स्टूडेंट्स को इंटरनल असेसमेंट करके आप प्रमोट कर सकते हैं, बट फॉर क्लास 12 स्टूडेंट्स टू बी प्रमोटेड एंड टू टेक इट फॉर देम टू बी एबल टू टेक एडमिशन इन अंडरग्रेजुएट कोर्सेज इन बैचलर्स और अदर forms of college education, the universities and schools will have to chalk out a plan and imagine an innovative or come out with an innovative solution where they can be tested for their readiness for the college education system. Those appearing for examinations like NEET and JEE for admissions in medical and engineering courses can still be accommodated. Okay? NEET and JEE admissions can be accommodated, but universities like Delhi University that admit on the basis of class 12 scores will have to reconsider their approach. Alright, class 12 scores or the score that you got in your intermediate examinations or class 12 examinations are the basis on which universities like DU take admission. So in case of an internal assessment of class 12 students, their grades may be altered or inflated or may not reflect the actual potential of the candidate, and in that case it will be difficult for DU to scrutinize which student is nice and which student does not deserve to be admitted in that university. The possibility of grade inflation rules out accepting internal grades as a metric of merit. Though this is an old problem that universities have been facing with boards indulging in what is called moderation, inflating student scores to give them an edge over students of competing boards in university admissions. Okay, this is what the problem I was talking about. Grades get inflated. Inflation means increase in the size of something, or increase in the value, or increase in any metric. So when your grades or when your marks are increased, it can be called grade inflation. So grade inflations rules out accepting internal grades as a metric of merit, measure of merit. Though this is an old problem that universities have been facing with boards indulging or doing or enjoying in what is called moderation. Moderation can be understood as bringing any value at par with some competing value. Like if you know that a university like DU takes admissions between 95 to 100% marks, might as well increase the marks of your students to that level so that they can get easy admission into that university and have an edge or advantage over students from other universities. That is called moderation. Okay? It has been explained here, inflating students' scores to give them an edge over students of competing boards in university admissions. Universities therefore must give serious thought to a US SAT style common entrance test. Okay? A common entrance test होगा तो it won't matter whether your marks were inflated or moderated by your own board or not. If you have the potential, you will pass that test and you will get easy admission into any university that has a specific standard set via that SAT style common entrance exam. While AICTE, MCI and the national law schools have been successful in getting colleges to agree to a single admission test, UGC has miserably failed in this endeavor. Endeavor is any effort that you do for gaining a result. Even though the National Testing Authority (NTA) that conducts the JEE, NEET and a host of other exams successfully has been roped in to conduct the Central University's common entrance test, UGC has not been able to persuade most central universities to join. To persuade is to convince someone to do something. Roped in, to rope in someone is to include or to get their agreement on doing something. Okay? So NTA, which conducts JEE, NEET and other exams, has been able to convince central universities, has been roped in. Like NTA has been asked to conduct CUCET, Central Universities Common Entrance Test. UGC has not been able to persuade most central universities to join. Only 14 central universities, a Delhi University or an Allahabad University or a BHU is not in this list, and 4 state ones admit students through CUCET. So the few universities that UGC could manage to persuade to join this NTA exam pattern does not include universities like DU or Allahabad University or BHU, and out of those 14, 4 already take admissions via CUCET. This is perhaps because universities have followed their own entrance procedures, and because getting affiliated colleges to agree to a common entrance test has also proved difficult in the past. For instance, DU's discarded experiment with a common entrance test for English honors. Past May, DU tried to experiment with such a common entrance test for English honors, which failed miserably. And it has been difficult for UGC to convince affiliated colleges for a common entrance test, because everybody wants to have their own standards and own entrance tests so that they can have a better control over the admission process. So that is the reason why UGC has not been able to convince all the central universities to join this NTA test for common admission. common exam for admissions. But with higher education institutions grappling with the changed context that COVID-19 presents, the UGC should bat on the forefront for a common entrance test. ठीक है, grapple से आया है ना. Grapple is to wrestle, is to fight with your bare hands. इसीलिए एक wrestler को एक grappler भी कहा जाता है. So since education institutions are wrestling or struggling with the changed context of COVID-19, the changed atmosphere, the changed system that the COVID-19 has presented with, UGC is at the best time to bat on the forefront for a common entrance test. Something that UGC has been trying to achieve since past many years, to construct a common entrance exam environment for all universities in India. This is the best time. I mean, crisis is the best opportunity to build something new, to innovate. So UGC has the best time, has the best chance to aggressively vote for or aggressively ask for a common entrance test for all universities. Even if states agree to a common state level exam and the central universities take admissions based on CUCET, it would still be a win-win for UGC and the students. Okay? Universities will have to compete to attract talent, and this would also influence their rankings, as students will make choices based on parameters like faculty, facilities, research and placement. So if universities compete on this common admission platform, students will have more choices, and those choices will be based on parameters or measures like what kind of faculty, which faculty is teaching over there, what are the facilities in that particular university, how is the research environment, and what are the placement facilities available there. So with a common entrance test in action, these are the things that students will also enjoy while taking admission. It will also allow private universities like Ashoka to showcase their strength. Even private universities will get a better platform to showcase what their strength areas are, how their faculty is better than other colleges or universities, how their facilities, how their research environment, how their placement cells are better than other universities. So it will seemingly create a level playing field for education, for the education providers, and will act as a means of making it smooth for students to get admission in the best colleges with the best options. So this is what the editor has tried to convey via this editorial, that a common entrance test similar to this SATs in US is a good opportunity, is a good option to get over with this crisis that COVID-19 pandemic has thrown us to. So this is what today's article is about. I'll put up a few questions about UGC and some other topics that you can answer and get a clearer understanding of this topic. So thank you for watching. Stay in and stay safe. If you have to go out, practice social distancing and follow lockdown guidelines. Thank you so much.